So what was your inspiration or your dream with Gilberton Outback Retreat when you had the idea to build the retreat? Where did that come from? Because I met you, you just finished it pretty much when I met you, and we started doing that first sort of work together. But what was your dream in building it and creating it?
Well, I was just sick of us busting our backside. Drought, cattle prices were bad, and Rob was working at the Kidston Gold Mine when it was going at that stage, and the kids and I were running the place. Yep. And it was just, couldn't see us getting ahead, you know. And I always wanted to do something different, but never had, I guess, the strength, inner strength to push for change.
Yeah.
And it took a long time, because Rob's sort of from the old school, so it took a long time to convince him. Took me about 10 years to convince him.
To do it, to build the retreat.
And originally I wanted to do 3, and he just about had a heart coronary. Just had to about employ a heart specialist. So we agreed that we would build 1, and then when it paid for itself, we would do more. Okay. But I've now got no desire to do any more because you can't get staff, but the uniqueness of it is we only cater for 1 couple. We can guarantee their privacy, but they become one of us. Yeah. So while they're here, and you know, look, we've had royals, we've had film stars, we've had, you know, people we've got to sign contracts with. And a lot of people say, oh, who were the royals? I said, well, if I told you, I'd have to shoot you.
Yeah.
There's a sign on the way.
Yeah.
There's a sign on the way
But,
in.
you know, they're just people like you and I, you know, and the fact that they can kick their shoes off and know that there's not going to be a camera in their face. And
yeah,
just,
amazing.
You know.
There's nowhere else like it.
Well, the royals that we had here, I was a bit worried about the cooking, you know, but I never advertise flash meals. All I just advertise good, wholesome country meals. And I said to them, you know, is the meal's okay and this, all that? And they said, we can get this much on our plate any day of the week, but we can't get this. And yeah, it's just to see people get here and walk in the door of the retreat, and it's just like, wow, you know. And like they reckon it was the best holiday that they've ever had. You know, they've been all over the world, but and we still keep in contact.
That's
you know?
so good.
And I know that they'll be back.
Yeah.
But it's just that unique experience, you know, that they can't find, and we sort of are not blowing our own trumpet, but pride ourselves on what we've got here. And they like, you know, they're not really coming to the retreat, they're actually coming for the experience. Yeah. And we do whatever they want. Some people want to
go out with you?
Some people want to do absolutely nothing. Some people want to just see the cows and just be with us, whatever we do in everyday station life.
Do they ever come into the kitchen and help you cook? And
when the royals were here, they actually helped me peeling potatoes, mind you. I said, oh, no, you don't have to help. Oh, no, but we want to.
Oh, they probably never actually get a chance to do that anywhere else.
We've got some fascinating Aboriginal rock art. Some want to just see that. Yep. Some want to just see the old township, what very little of that's left. And some just want to go bushwalking, like up on top of that mountain there.
Have you got some nice trails, or they just make their own way?
No, I go with.
Oh, you go with them?
Yeah, wherever they want to do. Okay. That's what we do. Some want to go looking for gold, detector. Yep. So we just design it around every individual, you know. Yeah. And they just become part of us, and they do their own breakfast so they can get out of bed when they want, and the rest of the meals are up here like a family sort of thing. And the fact that they can just blend in and be part of us, you know. They don't have to be out of bed at 9 o'clock to go on tour, and you know,
there's no set schedule.
No set sort of thing. It's every individual.
Yeah.
And that makes it so unique.
And when you built it, what were your, it is a very unique product and it's well known now. What are we, nearly 10 years in?
This will be our going into our seventh.
7th year, okay. What are some of the struggles or, struggles you've faced over the years in building the business or even just living out here personally or
The
in
biggest
business?
struggle is listening to negativity.
Yeah.
And even the tourist industry, the peak body, oh, it won't work. Oh, I think, well, that's all I need. You just watch me, And I think you might recall you were a guest speaker in Mariba.
I do remember that.
And do you remember what I stood up and said?
I don't remember, no.
That was our first year, and I said
That's
that
where I met you, was it? At that event?
No, it was an event before.
I knew, okay.
You come up as a guest speaker at a school, big school.
I did, Mariba State High School. International Rural
Real
Women's
Day, that's
Yeah.
right. And you asked me, I can't remember what the question that you asked me, but we had just started working together
Yeah.
with marketing.
Yeah.
And I stood up and I said, nobody knows about Gilberton Outback Retreat, but within 5 years, it will be Australia #1 must do. And we did that in 3 years.
And you've got an award sitting there as well, number
Yeah.
one.
But it's not about the awards, I only did that for exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we won, that was great, But it certainly helped get our name out there. COVID was our best friend.
Yeah.
We had 31 on a waiting list, that many bookings. It was
Wow.
just unbelievable. Even had some people ask if they paid double, could they get to the top of the list? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't work like that.
Oh, wow.
But it just, the biggest is people.
Did you have a lot of naysayers in the beginning?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And even Rob took some convincing, he went along.
Even after you'd built it, you still had the naysayers?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think just, people, I generally say people who give negativity sort of out are ones that want to do something but not game enough to take that leap, It's always... But, just sort of took that leap and... Yes, no, I was her very first... I didn't know at the time, but she come to me and said... Because Karen was already doing my marketing for the retreat. And she come to me and she said, I've got this program, I reckon you really need to do it. And I said, oh, yeah, I'll think about it. No, you really need to do this. And I didn't tell Rob at the time, and he just sort of thought, oh, what, is it another one of those bullshit things, that self-help things? I don't know. She said that I need to do it, so I guess I should. All right. If I told you to walk to the moon, would you do that too? But anyway, no, it was good. I think I was ready for change. We can help ourselves if we're willing and ready to change. And I think it was that part of my life where I was ready. And yeah.
What did you enjoy about it? What were some of the outcomes? I mean, you still keep it with you today, but then and there, like what did it do for you then?
Oh, I think it was just, I was ready. I've always been a bold, I don't know what you would sort of call it, but a person that, always looking for something else different to do, but never game enough just to take that extra step.
Yeah.
And I think it was just, it certainly helped me empower through the negativity of listening to people, and, there's always another path. And I just, it was time, and it just helped me gallop forwards.
I love that, gallop forwards.
It wasn't a, walking down that path. She was a gallop. And
Yeah, that's a great way of describing it, actually.
At times, things were going just too fast. It was all happening too quick, and the old brain couldn't keep up. But it was all for the best, certainly. And yeah, you do go back and think that you'll be doing something, and some negative comment will come up, and little things will resonate with you that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Can you think of like one? I mean, I know that there's so many things, and I think the whole process becomes a bit of a way of thinking and a way of life. But can you think back? Was there one lesson or one idea that really has continued to stick with you all these years later?
Oh, all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because you say every now and then I'll pull my book out.
Oh, that's good.
And Rob will say, "Oh, what do you want to keep that for?" And I say, "Oh, yes, I like reading things, and
Do
rereading
you have it
things."
handy? Can you get it?
Yeah,
That's
it's a
good.
bit
We'll get it.
tabulated.
Mine too. Mine's falling apart.
And I just, I'll just pick it up and, oh yeah, I remember that now, and I'll say something and people say, "Where did that come from?" And I said, "Oh, maybe from some learnings that I did, Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just, and not everyone is ready for that sort of thing.
No.
People will, oh, that's a cult, that's this, or that's that, But if you're not ready for change, well...
No. And also I think that sometimes that's their own fear of getting to know themselves.
Yeah.
So, you try to externalise it and put it into a box or a basket or a process and say, oh, well, that's that. But often it reflects something deeper within yourself that you might not want to explore, or, most people don't really know who they are.
Well, that's right.
Skimming through life.
I think
it just takes you deeper.
Through a lot of shit, through childhood stuff that I'd had locked away, but it's still sort of interfering with your life, and that was probably, like I said, it was at the right time of my life that I jumped into self-development.
But you didn't know going in to thinking into results that it would help you process a lot of childhood trauma and stories, and like you obviously like, you should do this, Lynny.
Yeah.
You took my guidance on that and trusted me to say, look, I think it's for you.
I don't know why, I just seen her, this young girl standing up in Mareeba talking about, I think the fact that you were a bush girl to start with, so that sort of, clicked. And I got on, I stayed in Mareeba that night, and I rang Rob and I said, oh, I just heard this Sheila talk in Mareeba, and I said, whatever she's on, I want it too.
I love it.
I said, because she seems to be a go-getter, and I want that.
I love it.
So, and he was just like, oh yeah, because I'd go away and I'd come back. I was on ICPA Federal Council for 6 years, and he was always pick up, what have you done now?
I love it. So good.
He was never, and even now he'll when I go to town or I go to a function, don't you sign up for anything?
Oh, it's so good. I
know the first time I went to Parliament House with ICPA delegations, and every minister that I've seen, I invited to Gilberton.
Yeah.
And I rang Rob, said, oh, I've invited it. Holy Moses, woman, how are we going to feed them? Like, he's had this vision of all these people coming.
And you're like, no, only two of you. So we can
didn't have the retreat at that stage.
You didn't have it at that stage.
No, it was still a pipe dream. But we never had to worry.
But I love that. That's so thinking into results. You were talking about it and bringing it to life well before you'd ever laid the slab.
Oh, yeah, for
years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't until one of Rob's birthdays, and I thought, I'm really going to step out into the deep zone here. I wasn't treading water, I was nearly sinking.
Yeah.
But I booked a we went up and seen Anna, our youngest daughter, in the Territory. And then we flew to Darwin, and we went out to Bemera Plains, quite, 5-star.
Yeah.
But I wanted Rob to experience something like that so that he could see what we could do different. And it was magic. It was like he got on the hover boats and he enjoyed it. But it was an eye-opener because he was able to see what we actually have.
Yeah.
We've got...
See it differently, change
we've
his
got
perspective.
beef, we've got history, we've got gold, we've got, rock art. Whereas this place only had one thing. They had water, the hovercraft, water or photography. So that was a changing point for him.
Okay.
And and I'd chuck a few thinking into result quotes and stuff, and then he'd say, "Yes, Karen Brook."
See, I told you they get it by osmosis.
And that was our turning point. And it sort of...
So that was sort of correspondence. So you did these trips, you went out on a limb at the same time you were studying thinking into results.
Yeah.
It was giving you empowering you with the tools and the confidence, just how to put it all together. Because I love that about it. It's like a process.
Oh, yeah.
It takes you through, takes the guesswork out of success. And then that was a turning point for Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took, like I say, it took a long time to convince him because, he's from the old school that if you can't pay for it, you go without. You work hard for it. You don't go booking it up and that sort of thing. And he's still got a bit of that mentality, but I've changed his attitude. He wanted an excavator. He's always dreamed of having an excavator. Well, go and buy it. You pay it off.
Yeah.
Oh no. Because Granddad didn't do that, I said, well, and we went to buy another station at the time and no bank would look at us because we didn't have a credit rating.
Yeah.
They knew nothing about us. And that was another sort of good thing, at the same time. It was a good learning sort of thing for him. Well, okay. They called us a lazy business because we didn't know any money.
Yeah.
But,
Isn't it crazy?
That's the way he was brought up, if you can't pay for it, you go without.
And we can't see that you can pay for it unless you've got a credit rating.
Exactly.
So you need to go and do these things.
And he's got his excavator and then 12 months ago he said, I'm going to buy a tractor. I said, well, go for it, And so, paying it off. And I don't know what's next, He's got all these little tools. And when I decided I wanted to go for a chopper, I wanted to actually try and keep it secret and surprise them all, to get my licence and just come home with the chopper. But it was just too hard to do. It was just too hard.
That's a repayment is hard.
I'm not worried about that because he doesn't even know what's in the bank or looks at it. Like, if I carked it tomorrow, he'd be buggered, But I said to him, I was trying to I started doing my lessons by distant.
Yeah.
But I quickly learnt that, I needed somebody to
You needed to be
help
there.
me. I needed to be. But I couldn't be in a schoolroom. I can't handle that sort of thing. I need
So did you bring
one-on-one.
someone out here?
Yep. My instructor was here for a month.
Oh.
And I did everything here.
Oh, amazing.
All my training, all my exams,
So he
everything.
lived here with you, and every day you'd just study and fly.
Absolutely. Yep. He was.
Did you get it done in a month?
Well, I was
go
3.5 weeks and I failed my first one. I knew I was going to fail it. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind.
This is your first PPL exam or your first BAK, like your restricted?
Me flights.
Okay.
I passed my exams, the theory side of things. But it was the best thing that ever happened because it just made me come back to reality and just, we don't learn if we don't fail, we don't learn.
Yeah.
So it was really, really good. And then I think I was ready for a break. It was just, I was just going to bed at night, you know. And then 3 weeks later, he came back for another 5 days and I did it. And
Finish it off.
yeah, it was quite funny because I'm always been paranoid about little kids doing exams in schools. I hate that word, you know. I don't think it even should exist because you're only testing the child on that day.
Yeah, I know.
They're under stress and everything. Ever since I was little,
Okay.
I was working out at Barkey. I left home when I was about 14, and my uncle lived in Barkey, and everyone knew him. And I had to say his name, and I'd get a job anywhere. And I was working on in the shearing sheds on Barcaldine Downs, and a chopper came in. I'd always loved, you know, aircrafts even from a younger age. And I just looked at this fella and I thought, I'm going to do that one day.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I can't even remember, I don't know, he must have been a local fella, I'm not sure. I mean, that's, you know, 30-something years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, there's not many women helicopter pilots, but there's no reason why you can't. And I just said, oh, I'm too dumb for that. And he said, oh, where there's a will, there's a way. I never forgot it. And I thought, oh, one day. And then, yeah, I just woke up one day and thought, right, that's it, I'm doing it.
It's so good.
But I put the cart before the horse. I bought the chopper first.
I love it. That's how you do it.
You want to make sure you don't fail.
Hilton, so I've known Hilton for quite a while, and he'd been doing charter flights for us with guests and that. And so I sent him a picture of a chopper. It was gold and maroon. And I said, I've just found the chopper I want to buy. And he just, woman, ring me. You're not buying that. And I knew that he'd comment because it was just about out of hours.
Yeah.
And he rang me up and he said, if you're serious, there's one that's just come on the market in the Whitsundays. I'll fly you down, righto. So I drove to Townsville, and at this stage, only Rob knew. I hadn't told the kids. And we flew down, looked at it, and I fell in love with it. And I said, that's it. I pulled the checkbook out and gave him a deposit. And there was about 5 other people waiting to look at it. It was some millionaire fellas from Melbourne. It was just their toy.
Yeah.
It's 2007, but it only done 800 hours.
Yeah.
And completely rebuilt everything. So it took a couple of months for finance to come through. And the next day I met Ashley in Townsville. For some reason I had to give him something, our son Ashley.
Yep.
And he says, Mum, what's going on? There's something weird going on. What's going on? And I'm sitting in the shopping centre in Townsville, and I said, oh, darling, I guess I have to tell you. And he sort of looked at me half worried, and I said, because I'm always pulling jokes on him, I said, oh, Dad and I are getting divorced. And he looked at me, and I couldn't stop laughing. He says, bullshit. And he says, what's that on your phone? Because I'd been sitting there looking at the chopper pictures, waiting for it.
Visualising.
And I said, no. He said, I know that's bullshit. And I said, your mummy just bought this. And he just went, holy shit. It was like, but the grin on his face was from here to here.
You probably inspire him to get his licence now.
No, he gets really sick, although he came up with me the other day and he enjoyed it.
Does Rob go with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our 3 kids, oh, Mum, you're crazy at your age. Really? I said, well, it's something I've always wanted to do. But the grandkids think, oh, Nanny, you're so cool.
Yeah, exactly. And you're leading by example. Yeah, absolutely.
And no, the 2 oldest grandsons, they were debating and saying, Nanny, when you die, who's going to get your chopper? I said, oh, maybe Nanny will have to buy another one. Because as the kids have all grown up, and after the house fire, when we moved up on the hill here, because we'd had a fright with flood, like only 12 months before the fire. So the kids had gone through trauma as well, you know, losing everything. And it was like the house was full of antique furniture that Rob's great-grandfather had made. Those things you can't replace,
No, you
know.
can't. It's very
All the
sad.
old records, and you don't think about having copies of things until you lose everything. Anyway, when we went to buy things for the house, we promised the kids that they could buy what they wanted for their bedroom, and they, you know, were allowed to pick one thing for the house, but the three of them had to decide what it was. And they all decided on a drink fridge with ice.
I love
So
it.
we still got it. But then I get
Still
little,
makes ice?
yeah, little nice little things, you know. And then over the years, Mum, when you die, who gets this? You know, it'd be like,
Always involved.
yeah. It was like, it's really funny. So I've got little things written on some things that are put away, you know. When I die, who gets this? And then I'll write their name on it, you know, little things I've put away.
You know, I think about what Bob Proctor used to say, most people are tiptoeing through life waiting to make it safely to death, and I don't think that's you. You are not tiptoeing through life waiting
No.
to make it safely to death.
I just like
You
every
haven't-
day to the fullest. Well, I honestly think like I was 25 when I had cervical cancer, and it was a battle.
Yeah.
I had a newborn baby and teaching the two kids going into distant ed. And I guess I was lucky that I had a supportive husband to help pull me through. But I guess that was probably a turning point in my life that, you know what, you got to do what you want, how you want, when you want, because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I think that's when I met you. Even though I had that mindset, I wasn't brave enough to take that next step.
Yeah.
So it was just that little push that I needed. But
And
yeah.
I just think that, you know, the structure and the process and putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, and I always say that, we're all walking around with pieces of the puzzle, and the TIR blueprint is like the lid of the puzzle box. It's how to put all the pieces in the
Yep.
right order.
Yep.
We've all got pieces, but it just puts it in the right order from the inside to the outside, the mindset to what you need to do in the physical side, and in a way that's practical.
Yeah.
It's actually not hoo-hoo. You know,
Yeah.
I was the first one to say 15 years ago when I thought about energy and the laws of the universe, I was like, you know, only people wearing purple with crystals do that. You know, how am I going to... But when I started to really study it and really understand it, and particularly studying with Bob Proctor, you know, then to be able to... You know, I was like, well, if I can't take this and teach it to a truck driver or someone on a cattle property, it's not going to work.
No.
And it did work because it was practical.
Yeah.
It was simple. It was...
Well, if I could understand it, anybody can understand it.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
sort of thing.
You know, and it is for everybody, and it isn't, you know, and I had another conversation with a client recently. I said, it's not often you talk about energy and mindset or, you know, the laws of the universe around a boardroom table, but you do once you study this because it belongs everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it
And I
is
think
just
you're
us.
able
We're just
to-
studying ourselves.
It just helps you to adapt to whatever situation that you're in.
Yeah.
Like you say, whether it's corporate or whether it's out on the mustering camp or whatever, you know.
It's all applicable.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.